Hi, everybody. Oh, geez. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here tonight. Um, Welcome. I do put my note on there about please be patient. My laptop's not booting up right, and my phone is not charging right. It was at 7%. It is plugged in. It's now gone down to 6. This may get flipped over to me doing it on the laptop, which doesn't have the best camera. Oh, come on. This thing is so old. And it's just taken its good old sweet time. Mike, we both had taken naps, and then we're dealing with some other things, and then he decides, oh, I'll go out in the yard, and so it ended up a very late dinner. So we quick ran out and just ate dinner at, I think it's called Freddy's, a sort of burger joint. Strange little burgers. Um, but that was something. Hello, other Nancy. How are you? I've still got that little circle going on my laptop. So I found some surprising stuff. Um, I did post the video of being at the second Goodwill. The first one, when I was away at friends, I could not film in there. The music was so loud. There was no way. But this place, the second place we went to, while it was much bigger, the shelves were really sparsely populated with stuff. And I did manage to find some really cool things. So some of which will be here tonight, some of which you didn't see because I couldn't show you I couldn't film in the other place. But I actually have a piece of Halloween tonight. This will be going up. Isn't she something else? I like her little tail. She's got a little devil tail. She is a little devil circa 2000, Madame Alexander. Isn't she something? So she will be as an offer up tonight. But yeah, it's funny. I was like, I found that, and then I found this other thing, which was the thumbnail I used for the shopping video. But that turns out to be a Bethany Lowe piece. I cannot find that particular one online, which makes me think it's retired and retired from a long while ago. So that one will probably be going up on eBay. I'm doing okay, Nancy. While we were out though, I didn't get any walking in today. And so while we were out and I was in a chair a lot, then and I was in the chair and I was leaning forward working on merit badge stuff. And that aggravates the nerve, which pinches. What it does is it actually ends up that top, like when you're sitting down and your legs, my fingers aren't going to do this, but your body's here and your legs here. This top part of the leg, that upper thigh in the front, that will Charlie horse, and it did that while we were out. It is not pleasant at all. What on earth? What are you doing to me? What the heck is that? Now it's trying to open up something else. No, shut that. Give me back my Google. I'll get there, y'all. Give me a minute. Hello, Lisa Burks. How are you? So let's see here. Do I have stuff for Lisa? I'm winnowing down this list. A lot of people will be getting emails asking if they still want their stuff, what it was, what sale it was from. And I get it. I mean, the it's all on me that things were behind. There's just was too much going on between house and healthcare, and that's why the sales stopped. I didn't realize the sales. We haven't had a sale since March. And that was when I really decided to, back in March, was when I really decided that I needed to stop and take care of my mental health because I was getting to be where, when I wasn't on screen to you guys, I was getting into a very dark place, which wouldn't have been good. So I got my head fixed, you know. Put a lot of work into that, but we talked about that on a different night. Let's see, I need my numbers. Gonna need some numbers here. Come out, come out. Gonna need some numbers. So, okay, now I need to turn the volume off on my laptop as soon as it cooperates. It's just waking up and it's so very slow. Honestly, it takes about 15 minutes for this thing to actually start itself and be working properly. So the friends I was staying at, he works in the IT field, and one of the companies that he does things for periodically purges their old laptops, and they take the hard drives out, so you just have to buy a new hard drive. So he said he will keep an eye out for when they do that again. Bless his heart. That's such a good thing to do for me. So that maybe I could get a newer and better laptop. We need to switch account because I need to be in the Tosh account. Oh, I know what else I need to do. Oh, Sugar Britches is still going on. I know she had, I need to turn the brightness down a little bit. Otherwise, we start getting weird glares on things. So, who's here? Penny's Pit Stop. Hi, yeah, it has been a little while. Howdy, darling. I hope you're doing all right. So, um, it has been a while for all of us. Whoops. Okay. So I went to Lorianne's channel. I went to Sugar Britches and made sure to leave her a thumbs up because she's doing her a lot of her Halloween sale. And so I had said I wanted to be there, and because she had this awesome black cat that I was hoping to see and get, but life didn't work out that way, which is all for the good. Really. So I just quick left her a message, and let's view my channel. Hello, Nora. It's your cat's second birthday. Well, happy birthday to your kitty. Is it kitty or kitties? Is it one or plural that's having the birthday? Let's get this into live chat. There we go. And the doctor was born for our cats. The doctor was born in July, sometime the end of July. So she will be 17 in July. And the gang of five, they were born somewhere around April 1st. So I just put April 1st on all the paperwork. So they are now 2. The gang, it's like having a bunch of 4-year-olds running around your house. They'd be dangerous, really, if they had opposable thumbs, man. Those cats would be so dangerous with opposable thumbs. Oh, God, this is so sweet. So the only coffee I like is Wawa. This is not paid promotion by any means. Is Wawa has a mocha mint coffee, not the iced coffee they make behind the deli, but they have a little machine. But you can always tell when they're supposed to shake the great big box before they put it in that machine. You can always tell when they don't, because this tastes like sugar and hardly any coffee, because the coffee stuff settles in the bottom of however the box was laid. So you have to mix it all up. And I can tell they didn't. Boy, it's going to be a sugar high tonight. Because I use stevia. I'm out of it at the moment, but I use stevia in my tea now. I haven't used sugar in my tea in over a year. So, because there's so much sugar hidden in everything else we eat and drink, that I thought, well, how can I limit that some? The only time I ever drink sodas is when we're out, because if we're eating at a fast food place, that's just what you get. There's not many options. So, and most of them don't know how to make iced tea to save their souls. So I thought, well, that's the only time I knowingly get a sugary drink. We don't tend to have soda in the house, except around New Year's maybe, or Christmas, when it's a mixer. If I happen to have a bottle of Southern Comfort or something better. But so you notice it. You really notice it when stuff has a lot of sugar in it, when it's really sweet. Rig is here. Hello. Yeah, I'm so glad to be back for a live sale. I've been sending out some emails to people that have been waiting for a long while, some of you, for your stuff. And so here's the deal. It is entirely my fault. You all who have been here through the long haul know, between the house, my mental health, my physical health, Gary's physical health in the beginning of the year. Because, one of the reasons the sales stopped was all through the end of March, beginning of April, he was in and out of the hospital. Kept having kidney problems where one was stopping working, and all kinds of other issues. So, that was all through April and May and into June. And so my life was a lot of chaos. I am so thankful that in the middle of all that, I was getting mental health care. But I also was not getting really caught up well and quickly. But anyway, all that said is that if you get an email from me about stuff that you had wanted from previous sales, please just answer the email, yes or no. If you've changed your mind because I took too long, that's entirely fair. Don't feel like you'd be hurting my feelings or anything, but don't ghost me. Please just say yes or no to if you still want it. If you want photos, I'll take care of that. When Warren shows up, I have to let him know, yes, I know he needs the photos of his gorgeous iris and herringbone Indiana glass stuff. That was a mistake. When I have a few things that when I sold them, I didn't make sure I had a box to ship them in first. That was stupid of me. I'll say it loud and clear. That was very stupid of me, because that picture is this tall and gorgeous and heavy, and I didn't have a box the right size. I won't do that again. I'm actually sitting on a gorgeous white opalescent serving tray. Serving dish. It's one of these great big round plates, like a cake plate. I have two divided dishes that are uranium glass. I have a gorgeous pink one that actually has the little handles on it that's also glass, and it is a little like tea time serving plate. And I have not put any of them in a live sale or even looked them up on eBay, because why? I learned my lesson. I don't have a box to ship them in yet. However, Mike got something in the mail, so I now have one box. I have one box that I have to test it out. I have to take one, wrap it in bubble wrap, and see if it actually would work for one of these plates once it's wrapped all up. Because if it is, then I can bring one of them to a sale for you guys. So, my nose is twitching, and I had my allergy meds. Oh yeah, Nora, because I didn't get it out, your box is sitting right there, marked paid. I have to I have to see about printing out a label tonight so we could, or tomorrow, so I could drop it off tomorrow at the post office. So yes, that hummingbird plate's beautiful. But that's in the box, already and waiting. So for those of you, Jana, hello. Oh, yay. You sent your info. Let me get the Yahoo open. So-and-so declares he won't debate so-and-so again for the election. Chicken shit. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have said that last word. For our democracy to work, I think it should be mandatory that they have to do 2 debates. I don't care what party they are. I think it should be mandatory because you need to know where they stand on what issues, what policies and stuff. But I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. That's stuff you just need to know. Um, I think they have duties to perform to the citizenship in the choices as much as we have a duty to make sure we look at each candidate thoroughly, look at their background, and then make our decision and actually vote. I am not a fan of not voting, partly because I was raised with it being pushed so much, because my great ancestors that came over to this country on the ship, the Charming Betty, in 1683 or 84, they fought in the revolution to create the country. We're descended from, we're actually related to, in the ancestry, to Benjamin Franklin. So it's been a thing in my mom's family to pass that history down. And we've been in every war since, up to when my cousin was in Desert Storm. She was a nurse, and right near the front line too. So she was there, and so we've had somebody in our family tree in every conflict up to and including Desert Storm. So we were always pushed by her family to be very civic minded, that you don't just not vote. You do your homework, yes, but you don't not vote. So that's why I'm like, yeah, there's certain things though that other countries I think have it better than we do. In that they've made it, first off, lobbying money doesn't happen as badly in some other democracies as it does in ours, but they have guaranteed everybody gets the same amount of airtime in prime time on television. There's mandatory 2 debates for both, usually for the top one, and that's done in prime time. And I think that's the way it should be everywhere for a democracy to work. So that's enough politics for tonight. But so that's more civics. I mean, this is the stuff that's when we teach there's citizenship in the nation merit badge for Boy Scouts, and it talks a great deal about civic duty, about jury duty, and doing the right thing and voting, and things like that. So yeah, some things we do owe to our ancestors. I've heard that name. Jana, what's the nearest bigger town tourist attraction thing near where you live in Tennessee? Because I swear I've heard the name of that town or saw it somewhere. Mind you, when we did Tennessee as a family vacation, that was a long time ago. Our dad used to pick He used to pick a different state every year, slam all of us into a car, and you'd drive for hours and hours the first 2 days to get to the state. And always like back roads, Seaverville, Pigeon Forge. I've heard of Pigeon Forge. Okay. That's why. Gatlinburg. We went to Gatlinburg, and we never took main highways because he just didn't like being you'd use them to get to the state, but once you were in the state, it was always these route numbers and stuff. Um, Pigeon Forge sounds familiar, and I know we were at Gatlinburg. But he would always take these old route numbers, partly because that's where you used to find in the 70s. That's where you still could find the motels, on the old route numbers. And so we would stop. We have stayed in some of the seediest motels, though. But it made for fun. It made for fun family vacations. It really did. The first one I remember was being in Holland, Michigan, and I was 5 or 6. I just remember tulips and a field of tulips and wooden shoes, which I don't know if we still have. They actually bought me a pair of wooden shoes. I was a little kid to wear. So, oh yeah, pennies in Scotland. I'm trying to convince the troop. They want to do a high adventure trip that requires a plane. And I keep telling them, there's 2 places that take a plane that I'd really love to go. Scotland's one of them, and Snowdonia National Park in Wales is the other. Trying to convince them that, because every so often we do a high adventure trip that costs like serious money. That they've gone out to Wyoming, to Jackson Hole, out near Yosemite. They've done that twice. Mike got to go when he was a scout to that one, and they've gone out there since then. One kid was dying for him to go to Alaska, and the kids spent an entire year researching it. And the adults just wouldn't listen. All they kept thinking of was Alaska was all this total wilderness. You're going to get eaten by grizzly bears. It's not, or polar bears. It's not safe, and refused to let them do it. They would have been right around Juneau, which is the capital city. They would not have been far from that. So they're not anywhere near, and they're going in the summertime. So they're not going anywhere near where the big bear problems would be. That was the whole point, was to stay relatively safe, and they just wouldn't listen to him. It's really sad when you see a kid who's incredibly intelligent. He's now currently getting training at Quantico. He's done his time in a submarine with the Navy, because he got into Annapolis. And the kid's brilliant, and he spent all that time researching it so it would be fun yet safe. And I hate it when you see a kid that's put in all that work and the adults don't want to listen simply because of the age of the person they're hearing it from. Frustrates me no end when I see that. So let's see who's coming in here. So Jana is here, and welcome. Bonnie's here. Bonnie's Creative Gift Ideas. Welcome. And Penny, yeah, it's been a long while. I don't forget that name, since it's named after Penelope Pitstop. Robbie, I got that from my mother's side of the family. They are a mix of Irish German. There's actually 2 portraits in the hallway. Great big Civil War era things. Alice Logue, her parents were born in County Limerick, Ireland. And that's all we know. That's it. I've got their names. Robert and Mary Logue, Logue, from County Limerick, Ireland. I have no idea other than that. I don't know if they were Scotch Irish or just all Irish. And she was my great great grandmother, and so we're not that far off from her really. And then she married one of the Amos Trouts because they loved using that name, that in March, the name March over and over again. Now, his family is from Germany, but from the Tyrol region, which is up in the Alps. But yeah, they were great for having that. Um, how did they put it? First off, there was stuff that was inherited through the Morgantic line, which is a very Irish thing. Girls inherit from their mother. But there also was the, like you said, the gift of gab. Family history was taught orally on my mom's side of the family. And I grew up knowing five of the nine of my great grandparents' children. The oldest one I knew until she died just shy of her 96, or she died just shy of her 97th birthday by a couple of days. She was born in 1900. So, yeah. I really need to start writing stuff down because apparently these uh what? Whoa, no, there goes the phone. Damn. There we go. Oh my goodness. What a pain in the backside that is. All right. Okay. Can you see me? Can you see me and hear me? Uh, good. Good. You might have to refresh your page that you're on. I know I just did on. There we go. Back in live chat because I'll want to be in that. Yeah, so it look, yeah, and I know, yes, behind me looks, oh, wow, there's like a 3-second delay. Um, Behind me looks way worse than it ever has. That's because a lot of stuff that was in the playroom that needed to get packed has now come out here. Uh, so that it was away from all that mess back there. But as things are getting dealt with, it'll all go away. I also have like behind me is all the only things left of small bubble and bigger bubble wrap. So yeah, you can see a lot more of it when I'm using a laptop. Sorry about that. But it's yeah, it's chaos. I did notice something when I was at my friend's house. Usually, you don't really sleep well sometimes in a new oh, Penny, yes, there's actually another TARDIS that's sitting down lower. That's one that was a birdhouse that was gifted to me by a viewer. That is never gonna see the yard. So, now if I could just find I heard that they made a remote controlled Dalek, and it is on my bucket list to find that sucker. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. But yeah, but it's chaos here because of all the stuff with the leak and having to get stuff out of the playroom. And Mike and I will be back at working out in there because there's one more box that the leak one of the leaks, the pan wasn't in the right place and we didn't know it. And so the leak went down the floor and right into this one box, which I'm pretty sure is um Yeah, no, sorry, Penny. He's not getting that TARDIS. No, you're not getting my TARDIS. Your kitty's not getting my TARDIS. Besides, it's not big enough for him to sleep in. No, it's only, what? It's only I think it's 11 inches all the way around, and it's built with wood that's 3/4 inch thick. So the inside is not even 10 by 10. Yeah, you'd have to make one a little bigger. Speaking of kitties, who did I hear? What are you doing? Ah, you. Yes. What were you doing? Stop chewing boxes. And he just ran away. It was Elron. Elron's got this thing about cardboard. He likes to gnaw on it. I don't know why. Absolutely don't know why. So that's an issue. That's 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 definitely an issue. It is. That's I guess as good as that's gonna get. Um, so yeah, the doctor, my older cat, they were born in the neighbor's shed, and it was Rory. The mother was named River Song, and yeah, the mother was River Song. The doctor was one of them, and then there was Rory, and then there was wait a minute, let me get this right. Let me um yeah, the mother was River Song, and there was Amelia Pond, the doctor, Davros, and Rory. And then we found out the sexes of them. Now I caught Davros and Pond. It turns out they were both boys. A shelter was able to take them. They ended up being adopted together because they ended up being a bonded pair. The doctor I kept. Turns out it was a girl. Okay. I still called her doctor. And that left Rory. I was never able to catch Rory. Rory showed up one day with River as an adult cat. River looked awful. And River came over to me and let me pet her and make a fuss over her, and then kept trying to get River Song to come over to me. So River, one of her last litters was Morgan Le Fay, which was an all black cat that I did manage to catch her, but she got out again. And then when we got her again, she was only 9 months old and pregnant. So her gang of five, I had her and them, but she tore apart a screen in the porch door to get out again. And then she ended up getting hit by a car out front. But I still have her gang of 5, and since there were 4 boys and a girl, we're like, "Well, we need something with 4 male names." So my son suggested Lord of the Rings. So we have Frodo, who was the runt of the litter, who I got a hold of first, because Frodo she brought me. She didn't bring me the other kids. She only brought me Frodo. Frodo was underweight, very small. Um, I stayed up and fed that thing every hour the first night I had him. Um, and then the next day, I walked around looking for her. Where is she going? Because she would show up on the back porch to get food. But it's like, you didn't have just one kitten. Where's the rest? So it took about 3 days, me bottle feeding him the whole time, before neighbors on the street behind us on the corner, because they met me and they knew I was looking for her. Hi, Warren. So anyway, they she showed up and started bringing one of the kittens to them and tried walking into their house with it, because she would also feed from their porch. And so eventually I got 2 kittens at first, and then we came home from being out, and there's a little tote bag hanging on the front doorknob. There's another kitten in the tote bag. And then the last kitten um, was over there in the shed they had with all he has a lawnmower service. And he had just sharpened all the blades. And he was like, she's in there with that kitten. And I'm worried the kitten will get hurt. So they came and got me. And I got the last kitten and carried it around. And she followed me in, followed me right in the front door and right back to the playroom, because at that point, that was the only room I could isolate them. And so she would nurse them, but then she'd want to go outside during the day, but she'd come back at night and sleep with them. But we were going to keep Gimli, who's all black. Mike wanted Gimli. I wanted Elrond. Elrond looks like a cream seal point Siamese. He's gorgeous. Surprisingly not as vocal as most Siamese cats are. So that left Frodo, Aragorn, and Arwen. Aragorn and Arwen, their father had to be Shadow, who used to be around, because they have this exact same color gray fur and feel like silk. They have the softest fur you could ever have on a cat. Um, so I wanted to keep Elrond, Mike wanted to keep Gimli. Became very apparent that Aragorn, who has only one brain cell and is definitely, while not physically the baby size, he is definitely the baby boy, the very needy baby boy of the bunch. And he's bonded with Gimli. If they get separated, he can't handle it. He doesn't even like it when Gimli goes outside, because Gimli's a door dasher, but he's chipped and has a big collar and he's scared to death of cars, so he doesn't usually leave the property. Um, but he'll sit in the window looking in the backyard to watch Gimli, because he's not allowed out because he ain't got a brain cell in his head. So so we figured, okay, we'll keep those 3. Well, 8 adoptions fell through. So we ended up with all 5 of them. Doctor is not happy. Not at all. So it's fun, but Michael was the one that said, "Well, at this point it's been a year, we should keep him." Well, now it's been 2 years. But I kept telling him, I was like, I can't afford to feed all these cats. So he helps out a lot paying for food and litter. Sometimes that's a bit of a challenge, because there's also 2, sometimes 3. Jack's disappeared again outside, that I try to feed them so they get used to us and handle them, so that then we can get them spayed, neutered, and released. And so we still need to get, I haven't seen Charlie in months, which does not bode well. But I need to get Jack looked at next. We got Tuxedo fixed and he's back with us. And I can't find the contact information for the woman that was going to take him. I need to find a way to get a hold of her. So, so anyway, enough about kitties for now. There'll be other times about kitties. Let's start having a sale. It's so nice to be back having one. And I actually have, for the first time ever, actually have what, 2 Halloween things? Because I never sell Halloween. It's usually I usually keep what I find because I definitely should have been a Halloween baby. So I have quite a variety. I have some old books that can be used for crafting that are about crafting. In the paper arts, I have a couple of Avon decanters and some porcelain and that wonderful little devil girl that I showed at the very beginning to a few of you that were already here. I didn't let them bid on. I didn't let them. That'll be an offer up. I didn't let them do anything yet. There's a piece of Beleek. So I think I've got 21 things for tonight. So let's get going. If you've never been to a sale before, I will show you the item, tell you the price, and then I'll put a number up on a card that the first one who claims it in the comments or not in the chat, then is the one who will get it. And make sure you are in live chat and not top chat. But also keep in mind that even in live chat, if it's close, it will show you your name first, but it won't show me your name first. It usually will show me the actual millisecond behind whoever it was. Okay. Um, Shipping is not included in these prices. I don't do I don't do just in case because by the time we get halfway through this, I may be just get to the point where I'm too tired to keep track of it. That has happened. So we're like, yeah, we're not doing that. I do use Pirate Ship to try to help keep the shipping costs down. And if we buy books, they tend to get set separately because it saves you money because they get to go media mail. I can't do that with magazines though. Technically, media mail can't have anything that has advertisements in it. So magazines don't get to do that. All right, let's start with this big guy because he's kind of in the way. For those of you that saw the Avon haul video, I had picked up at the local auction house a whole bunch. Now this one has the box, but the box has some damage. An awful lot of glare. How can I cut down the glare? Can I take this down lower? The screen's glare. Don't want to make it too dark. I still need to be able to read this. But it's becoming a trend for people to use these to decorate with. Now, this one happens to still be full. It does still have everything in it. It's just the lid is in the box. Now, this has Wild Country aftershave and is the Canada Goose. Little ruler. Where did you go? Little ruler's running away. Oh, you're not my Coca-Cola ruler. Oh, don't know where you came from. So this little fellow stands. So it stands 7 3/4 inches tall, but he's really kind of cool for like decorating for the fall or for Thanksgiving. Not necessarily a Halloween item, but get your head on right. The nice part of him too is you can put that head whatever way you want it. He can be looking at you that way. giving, or he could be looking straight ahead and giving you the side eye. So, but this would be a fun thing to decorate with. I do think like chipmunks and squirrels and geese are really cool to have around for the fall. Now, where are you? I know I went and got them. There we go. My numbers. I need my numbers. So for for the goose, he is, come on here. He is $5 and he's number 42. There we go. $5, number 42. What y'all doing? What are you doing? So that's for the Avon goose. Now I'm keeping, I like the pheasant. So I'm probably keeping the pheasant one for, because I don't have really I have hardly anything for Thanksgiving. I found matching candle holders and salt and pepper shakers at a Goodwill last year. So other than that, I don't think I have anything to for, really for Thanksgiving, other than like I have a couple of fall looking things. I have some party light candle holders that are in the shape of autumn leaves in those colors. I don't really have much for Thanksgiving. I'd rather just kind of like decorate for the fall. So that was that one. And, uh, come on here. I guess I'm gonna have to do you next too, because so if you have a golfer in your life, this is another Avon piece. It's called Perfect Drive. Now it has Avon protein. That cracked me up. Hair and scalp conditioner for men. There we go. But this is the golfer. Where's your golf club? Got to have your driver in your hand. So if you have a family that does little gag gifts at the holidays, hi Rhonda. This would be really good. Let's see. No, that should go that way because it's the back. So this is the golfer. He would look good in the window. Nice green glass in there. That would show through nice. But there he is up close. He's got his golf shirt on with his little pocket, and this glare is driving me nuts. Hang on. Turn that the other way. That's a bit better. It's a little better over there. But the golfer, I lost my pen. I didn't write the golfer down. Golfer. But I think for a gag gift for Christmas, if you have a golfer in your life, I think this would be really fun. Um, so he is $5 and he's number 66. $5, number 66. Now he is tall too, because he is 9.25 inches tall. He does come with his original box. I don't have any golfers in my family, or somebody'd be getting this as a joke. In our family, there used to be a tradition that was just in our family, that mom would always pick every year somebody would get the gift. All right, I know you fit down in there. I took you out of there. There we go. And the gift was usually something that was difficult to get into. And it usually was a gag gift or something small, but it would be a bugger to get into. You weren't eligible to be on the list of this gag gift either until you were 10 years old. And man, sometimes they were real hard to get into. And then as I got older, it became my job to wrap them. So I got all the heat from the family about how, no, you're the one that's always doing it. So you do it. No, mom picks. She picks what it is and she picks who it is. I just do the dirty work of wrapping. My brother in law got me with a good one, though. They gave me a bunch, they knew I had this jar I wanted to fill with marbles. They gave me a bunch of glass marbles inside a water balloon set inside a box. He made a paper mache ring for the box to sit for the balloon to sit in, and this balloon was like huge. It was like this. And it took him he found somewhere to get these extra large heavy duty balloons, and it took him 3 balloons before he got one didn't pop on him. That was brilliant. I ended up putting it in the kitchen sink, poking it with a knife to get it to pop. We had one year, the nieces swore that the thing was for them because it was actually, sawhorses in the box. My brother-in-law got them for Christmas, and I had to make that one hard to get into. That was a challenge because those things were big and heavy, but I drew ET on it. It ended up the final part that was wrapped up was all done in brown paper, and so I drew ET on it. So the 2 nieces who were little at the time swore that was gonna be one of their presents and were so shook up when it went to their uncle. So, let's see. I'll do the last Avon one. We'll do it all together then. So again, this is a gag gift for the golfer. This is empty. This does not have any cologne in it, but this one doesn't even look like it's a golfing thing. Nope, I'm still getting glare. No, who does that bear with me through how it's glaring on things? I can't get rid of that. I don't have the right kind of lighting. But this one, it's on the tee. It's made to look like grass. Absolutely funny. I think this one's just really comical. So the Avon golf ball on the tee is $4, and it's number 44. But that one's just, that is absolutely definitely something that would be a fun gag gift for a golfer to decorate with. And that one you really can. I mean, you can't even tell that that's, most of the decanters are kind of see-through, so you can see, but that one is all this nice white milk glass. You can't tell so much. Now, let's see here. I have, let's do some of the porcelain here. I have this lovely little hand painted pansy dish. Isn't that pretty? It's just lovely. And it's all hand painted. Now, on the back, it says hand painted, made in Japan. It's not very big. It's what from point to point, it's 4.5 inches. Now it's got this little slit up here so that you could either hang it with a ribbon, um, to hang it up for the fall. But look at that. The delicacy of those petals is just lovely. Just a beautiful little piece. There's no chips, there's no cracks, there's one spot that I thought maybe was flaking paint, but it's not. They just didn't paint right there. There's no sign of that being scraped off. You can't feel it. The glaze is right over top of it. So it's just an area where they didn't paint. And here's how cool this is like this, right where you see how it looks like the edge of the petal. This is how good an artist they were. That's just not painted. That's not white paint. That's just the white of the dish underneath. They actually made a point of making the purple be that little dip down to make it look like the petal. They actually used the white of the dish to accent that gorgeous flower. Absolutely lovely little piece. And it is, I don't have my list in order tonight. Where are you? Pansy dish. So this lovely little vintage piece is $4 and is number 83. $4, number 83. That's such a pretty little thing. Isn't it? It's a beautiful little plate. I like pansies too, and that is a pretty little thing. So we have, one drawback to this is by doing it this way. Do I know how many people are here? 19. Well, welcome to all 19 of you. And Rhonda's here. Rhonda's here. The party can begin. Now let's see. Let's do you. So this is judging from the graphics and the artwork. I believe this to be from the 1930s. This is an aluminum cake decorator set. The original box. Oh, look, her face is strange. The way she's looked at that cake, she's been on fire for way too long. The way she's just staring down that cake. But it is made in the USA. It has recipes for icings on the back. It has some little secrets around the side because it has little images that tell you what tip number to use. Like this one was fun. You make the little cake and you use maraschino cherries, and then it tells you the tip numbers to the stems and the leaf. But it's in here. Now the box has definitely showing its age that it's been used. It is perforated so that you used to be able to stand this part up and this be the display. It actually has the directions right here. I don't want to turn it sideways. I don't want everything to fall out. So this was meant to be the display box in the store. And it has two of the pieces for the cake decorator. I did not find a maker's name. And then, of course, this comes off. And you take your tip. You put that on. And you then, once that's on there, you screw this back down. And then your thing is on there. And then you would just push to push out your thing. Now, the hard part, though, is getting even pressure to push it out. That takes some practice. Now, there is a second one in here that I don't think is from the same maker because it doesn't say, this one says cake decorator around the rim, and this one does not. But the same little heads fit in there. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different little heads. There's two different starburst patterns. Those are for making um, swags or little flowers. This kind, this little one, that's what makes your leaves. And then there's two different sizes of the little hole. This is a small one to do the writing. So there's 5 in total, and then there's these two. Now it doesn't have the guts of the box, whatever was holding all that in, but it is the display box that they would have used in the store. Now, I did not find a date, but going by the graphics, it is very much looks like a 1930s. So if you wanted to just have it as a box standing up in your kitchen to decorate with, it's a great vintage item to decorate for your vintage kitchen. And it is very rare to find these with as the store display box. Heck, it's rare to find these with the box, period. Especially one this early. Most of the later ones in the 40s came in a square box with no lid that had cellophane over them. And so you sometimes find those, but they don't have the cellophane still on them, and they don't have any fun graphics like that. So this is $7, and this is $7 and is number 34. $7, number 34. Carefully stand you right there. Yeah, now see, you can find the 50s and 60s ones. But that's an earlier one. And those you can, and the fact that it was the store display, what are the odds of ever finding one that's the store display box? Now, this is something that if you do junk journaling, I've never heard of this one. Gift house stamps. And then this one is a green stamp. Now, we're all probably more familiar with the wider green stamp ones that are like a little higher and go this way. But this is a narrow one. This one, do you have a date? I'm not seeing it. I love the images though. The images on some of the pages are really cool. Yeah, I mean, I know I try. Hi, Lou. I mean, I try to pass on the price to you guys because I got that for free. But the set. Well, now see, here's another one. You know, when somebody's full, you never see all the artwork and stuff. Yeah. Normally, when you use these, is covered up by the stamps. So you never normally see all that stuff. Now, there are a few loose stamps inside of it. And let's see if the front has a year. 1962. Copyright Speary and Hutchinson Company. And the first 3 pages are full with green stamps. The rest are blank. So you get great graphics that you normally never see. Now, Gift House, now granted, this one, the cover is loose. This has a lot of the stamps on there. I've never heard of Gift House before, but I'm assuming when you look at that cover, and it was the same kind of thing. But this one is completely full. The pages are loose, but it's completely full. So great thing for junk journaling, art projects. So these are $2. So that's $1 each. Can't beat that. Number 68. $2 for these. Number 68. Oh, that's the wrong pen. What am I using that pen for? That pen should be in my, it's the only one that fits down the spiral of my calendar. Grab the wrong, there's my pen. So you guys are number 68. And let's do an offer up. I have a Beleek vase. This is going to be our first offer up. Now it's going to start at 10. And I'm so sorry that I had to do this on my computer because it just glares it's glaring out so badly. But this is the basket weave pattern with the little shamrocks. It has its official stamp on the bottom. Now, from what I understand, that M is the initial of whoever did the painting. And they do not very often have that. You have to have been with the company a long time and see a certain level of quality of painting before they would let you put an initial on. But it does have its Beleek and then teeny tiny in Latin. Looks like Latin. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to read that. Oh, so I don't know the date of when this one was. It came from a collection of a friend's mother. It's 5.5 inches tall. I mean, honestly, it's just a darling little thing. Which way is the light that's glaring so badly? That way. But you can't really see the beauty of the detail of because the way it's glaring out, you can't really see that the stem and everything is all right here and careful. Oh, hello. For tonight, yes, this is the only Beleek piece. I have to inventory the box she gave me, because these are being sold on commission, and I have to I have only researched a few and sold a few so far. Um, but this is the only Beleek one tonight. There will be more coming, and but it's in perfect shape. No chips, no cracks, no rough spots anywhere. And it's starting at $10. And well, thank you, Sue. It's so nice to see you. I've missed seeing you online because I have just not been up late enough last couple months to see you over at Trisha's. So, but do we have any takers for for $10 for a Bleak piece? That's a nice, reasonable price. So I don't see any takers for that. So we carefully sit that in here and we'll put pass. Oh, Sue, I'm sorry to hear that. I know how frustrating that can be because that was my 2021. 3 months of bed rest before I could even start doing physical therapy. So, oh, thank you, Lou. I'm going to write it down. 1997. Elron, what are you doing? Stop chewing the boxes. Yes, you. Yeah, that's why I said $10 is quite the reasonable price. So, Sue, I hope you recover quickly and know that we will all be praying for you. Basket week, flower week's 8th mark. Yep, put that in there. Yep. Lou would look up items at Jan's sales. How is Jan doing? I haven't kept up with her either. I kind of fell off the doing so well when I started the channel, and then chaos reigned, and I kind of fell off the planet there. Let's see. I have salt and pepper shaker set. They are older. They still have their corks. One says Japan, the other one, the Japan is so faint you can barely see it. But this one you can see it better. It's barrel work there by my Japan. And they are just happy little piggies. Look at the happy little piggies. Look at the smile on those little faces. And they're looking up. I have no idea what they're looking up to, but they're looking up. Now they got their holes in their head. The holes in this one are slightly bigger, but they are in good shape. The only thing that is a flaw is on him. There is, oh, I don't think you guys can even see it. There's a there it is, tiny little black dot, and that's a black dot of paint underneath the glaze. But it's great little vintage salt and pepper shaker set in fantastic shape. There's no crazing, no chips, no cracks. Lovely little guys. And these guys are $6 for the pair. $6, and they are number 12. $6, number 12 for the little piggy salt and pepper shakers. And they have little bumps for their tails in the back. I forget what kind of pig is spotted like that. An Oswego, I think. But I thought they were usually black and white. And the spots on this one are extremely faint. But then the spots on this one are darker. So that's how you can tell them apart. Is because this one has the darker brown spots. Little cutie guys. But they are just $6, which is a great price for a vintage pair. And they are in great shape. And they were number 12. Okay. You you're over there. Number 12. All right. I'll break the French glass. I want to get to these books because I know Warren's here. Now, these are primarily for using for um, either using them to craft with or using the information to craft with. So the first one is by Jan Beanie, Adventures with Collage. I kind of like that colors in that front thing. Now, It has, this one's in pretty good shape. It has 50 photographs. I was surprised that it's by Frederick Warren and Company, New York and London. Warren is the one who publishes all the Beatrix Potter books. Now, this is from 1970, and it goes through everything about basic materials, adhesive, gluing hints, patterns and papers, textures, decorative treatments, making small collage pictures to get you started off, group projects, fabric collage, collage in relief, 3D modeling, dimensional work. So it's got all kinds of styles in there. Um, there's some, they made a face with things. So it has a lot of basic information. Now this one's all done with screws, washers, and wing nuts. So that's some of the 3D stuff. All of the pictures though are in black and white, but it's only $2. I did like this fish. The fish is pretty cool. The fish is actually made with metallized paper, cellophane, and eggshell frame. But he looks really cool. So you have this whole thing to give you some starter stuff and to get you going and techniques. I did get a kick out of their, when they said dimensional, they weren't kidding. They, this is called Spiky Monster. So this is $2 for Adventures with Collage. This is $2, number 48 for that one. The butterfly. Um, where is the butterfly? Because most of the stuff in here is paper, but well, they have these are just black and white pictures, but the bird's nest is all kinds of different things. They talk about the basic shapes of a butterfly in the wording. So I guess that's why they have the pictures of the butterfly on there. There are a couple other spots where they do stylized designs to give you ideas. There was an architectural one in here too somewhere where it was like little castles. That's what the some of the black and white drawing things are. They're like guidelines. So it's just $2 and number 48 for that one. Well, thank you for the thumbs up reminder. Oh, Nancy. I haven't done collage in a long while. I have to move the little devil here. Preview, preview. She'll be coming up soon. I actually have a Halloween thing. Okay, so this is to Nancy Smith. Don't you get into trouble here, teacups and saucers. Now there's another one here that is collage with cray paper. Now this one is in color. Now this is for more experienced collage work. Um, don't have a year on this one at all. I don't think I found a year at all on this one. But these are basically done by designer artists. Everything from, they made like little tree branches and where's this one's supposed to be like looking like birch branches and birch trees. They're all about texture and how to make like a plant collage. But where is the one? They talk about how to blend the colors. No, I don't want the creepy clown. On this one, they've done two kind of modern art, modernistic kind of things. Not my style. I like my art to look like something. I like this one. It's called Autumnal Prophecy. And what they've done is they've actually done the background looks like it's painted. The background is all tissue paper. And then the plants are actually real dried plants. But look at that. Look at that. That looks like a painting, but it's not. It's layered tissue paper on that background. Isn't that just an incredibly gorgeous background? I would hang that up in my house if it weren't orange, because I don't like orange, but it's just layered carefully and so that and it's even got little wrinkles going diagonally. I don't know if you can see them, but it is just gorgeous. Um, yeah, and I just was dumbfounded when I read the fine print about the description of that picture. I really thought that was a painted background. It's not. It's all just done with. So this is another one. It's only $2. $2 and it's number 51. $2, number 51. Yeah, but that one just this one is crepe paper is very difficult to work with for collage because it's so fragile when it's wet. I've done a little bit of it. I I'm kind of iffy about actually using it myself. I've done some where I've used tissue. What is it? Oh, you want that one too? Okay. Yeah, I had to turn my brightness down on my screen so low to try to help fix the glare that I can't see my own screen that well. Now these next two are in rough shape. So if you wanted to take these apart and use them for junk journaling, you could. But they do have some cool ideas. These are more geared towards kids. They are Whitman Creative Art Books. This one is paper art. And this is from 1966. This one, the inside is partly loose. Oh, nope, that all of it's loose. But it does have things about cutting and pasting, experiments with paper, how to curl it, textured paper, fold and cutting. I've done a butterfly, but I've never done a frog where you fold it in hand. We've all done the snowflakes in school where you fold it and you make a snowflake. One fold animals. Lincoln cat, and then you've got a rooster. It was that kind of fun when we were in school. Then they did like a three-dimensional art project. As I said, you can use the picture. Now they have a thing with tissue paper. And tissue paper over it. So there's how many pages? Oh, the pages aren't numbered. So they also do paper and paste modeling, and that's actually a bird. So this is $2 for the paper art book, and it's number 13. And then the other one is print art. Same company, Whitman Creative Art Book. They must have done a series because they both say first book one, but I only ever had these two, 1966. And print art, I got a kick out of some of it. I mean, they have things with using your fingerprints. I've seen things where you could make a turkey with your fingerprints and all that. But I get a kick out of gadget printing. Now, gadget printing, they're using everyday objects. Whether that everyday object is things like fruit. I remember us carving a potato to make a stamp. And they have it in here too. They have potato prints. But that was something, oh, the sneeze. Oh, that was something mom did sometimes to keep us busy. You could carve up a potato. This is one I've never done, where they're doing it with clay and to make a clay block. So it has some good ideas in it. It has mono prints where you're doing something that's all one color. And like I said, you could use the pictures. Um, they have corrugated paper printing. So that's that one is also $2. $2 number 50. $2 number 50. Now is Warren still here? Because this next one is kind of up his alley. Oh, I have a 1945, the folded butterfly. That was paper art. All right. That was number that was number 13. All right, Nancy. Sit that over here with the others. But this is a picture dictionary for children by Grosset and Dunlap publisher, Garnett, Waters, and S.A. Fortis. Now, there is a crack to the board. It goes right here. So this is a little wiggly. But this is from the 40s. It does have a ripped page here. The first two pages. It's the original copyright was 1939. This copyright is 1945. But it has all kinds of stuff in here. Now, what I like is that the way they did this dictionary is it'll say, it'll have the word, like it says against, and then it has the phonetics of how to say it, and then it has how it looks when it's written in cursive, and then has bigger letters how it's printed out. So, and then it has where they've drawn a picture and used it in a sentence. So the ladder is against the wall, and it has the word against underline, and underneath it says. So it gives you everything you need for a kid to learn a new word. So it says what it is, shows what it is, it explains what it is in the sentence, shows you how to recognize it not only as printing, but in cursive. So I thought that was fabulous. And everything's like that. The pictures in here are just so cool. Every little word has a little different drawing. And it's like that through the whole thing. There's very few that don't. Now, like the word dreadful, the word dream, they don't have drawings on them. and I can understand why. But things like the baby drank the milk shows a toddler with a glass. Tom can draw pictures, shows little Tom drawing a picture. Uh, ah, don't hit that. So, and it is quite thick. There are, oh, how many pages in this thing? Oh, there's an index. Wow, that's a big index. Okay, well, the first page of the index looks like it has a tear in it. There's 470. Come on, separate carefully. There's 478 pages in that, going through all that different stuff. And even if, and I know Warren, it made me think of Warren because he makes these great books that are teacher's aids. And with this kind of book, he could make copies of the pages and then incorporate that into the lessons in the books that he makes. So this one made me think of you, Warren. But it's just really, really cool. So this is $5 for the Children's Picture Dictionary from 1945. It is $5. It's number 81. $5, number 81. Tuck that there. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I mean, I get it. Like the corners are, it's been loved because like the corners are rounding off. You can see where the paper's coming out. And but they didn't write in it, they didn't scribble in it, and 99% of the pages are still intact. It's just really cool to look at. 81. Okay. Now, let's see. Which is the Beleek vase. Let's do pigs in a basket. Okay. This is not signed, is it? No, it's not. Pity. Fabulous little piece. What am I starting this at? Okay, this is starting at $7. This is Pigs in a Basket. Look at this. Good night, Lou. Oh, it's all pastel colors, so the light is really whiting it out, and I apologize. But this is light blue, this is pale yellow, this guy is pink, but it's these lovely pastel little piggies, the little feet and little ears. They have little tiny curly tails. They're having a party, and this is a pink ribbon. Oh, the light is just killing it. But it's absolutely adorable. Now, there is one flaw on the back. This little piggy, right by my fingertips, has lost his ears. And they were all in set. They are all handcrafted little piggies. The noses are a separate piece. The ears are a separate piece. The tail's a separate piece. The feet are separate pieces. They are all individual little pieces that were put together and then fired. And then it's got a nice gloss over it. It looks like porcelain. Absolutely adorable. And this camera on my phone, I wish I had my phone for this because this camera, I'm trying to shade it so you can get a hint of colors. That guy in the center, this guy is pale blue. This is a yellow flower. This little guy is pale pink. He's all pastels. An absolutely darling little thing, and it stands we go here. You are 4 1/4 inches tall and 3 inches wide. But if you like piggies, this is absolutely adorable little thing. Aren't they so cute? I wish I could show these to you with my phone because you get such colors. Because the light in here is just fading these out. I'll be so happy when I have an office upstairs. So he was an offer up starting at 7, and if we have no one who wants him, then we will pass. Please. But I can't blame you when you can't see it properly. We'll do what we can tonight. There we go. Now, where's next? Okay. Did the piggy, did those, did the vase. Where's the pen? Okay, I have 2 little pins. One is a ghost. I need to get him out of his little biggie baggie. I thought he was kind of funny because it's a ghost, but it looks like a sheet. You know how we always see the Charlie Brown thing where they dress as a ghost with a sheet. The sheet has little green ghosts. Can you see? He's got green ghosts all over. Isn't that funny? He is just a little thing. It's what? Not quite an inch and a quarter. So he's a little over an inch long. He's got that little kind of pink back little thing, but he is a little cute. He is $3 for the little ghost pin. He's just $3 and he's number 23. $3 number 23 for the little ghost. He's such a little cutie. Now, for those of you that are interested in art stuff, somebody gave these to me a long while ago, but it's not my thing. So I thought, you know what? Somebody might be really into really old art. How many of you remember the painting God Creates Man by Michelangelo? Now, you may not know the name of the painting. The painting is where God is stretching out his finger and man is stretching out his hand for them to touch. Well, this is a pin set of that very thing. And it's the two hands. Actually, it would be this way. It's the two hands reaching for each other. Now, mind you, if you want to just have hands for Halloween, you can, or you can use them together um, as the art uh, for the art of Michelangelo. And this is a set of two. So this is $5 for this set. You don't have a maker's name on them, but they are $5, and that's number 56 for the hand pins. Get you guys in your little bags so you don't get separated. And write your number down. Now, I'm going to do her now. She's an offer up. So I'll get her going. She is a gorgeous little piece for Halloween. This little devil girl. So let me get this in here as an offer up. She's actually called Little Devil. Let me put her name in. Now, she's going to start at 8 for a good reason. So, this is an offer up. This is a little devil. If you think you recognize the face, I'll bet you do. Isn't that awesome? She's got this great little dress. She's got her jack-o'-lantern. She's got her tail. She's earring got a tail. She's got this wonderful cape that is all little sparklies on the cape and on her little devil horns. She's got this great little kind of 1950s for a little girl or 60s hairdo. Now she is numbered. She is number 162, but I don't know of how many. She says on her base, Little Devil, circa 2000, Madam Alexander. And then it has edition slash PC number. And all that is right there on the bottom. So she is a Madam Alexander piece. I do not have the original box, but she is flawless. She is absolutely flawless. She's gorgeous and such a great Halloween decoration. So she is an offer up. We are starting at 8, which, I mean, these are really cool. I've never seen a holiday one before. Every once in a blue moon, I've seen these figurines of Madame Alexander dolls, but I've never seen a holiday one. So to me, this is just a fabulous surprise find. And it is a Halloween. Now, even on the front, you see it says Little Devil on the front. That is the title it's been given to the piece. She's got her little tail, her little fluffy dress. You just know there's a crinoline under that dress. But she's adorable. There's no nicks, there's no scratch, no, no dings, no. Now, I believe she's made of resin, but I think she's that higher quality because she's got a lot of little detail to this dress. I don't think you guys can see it, but this piece right here, this is why I said that's a crinoline, is because when you look at that, you can actually see a pattern of like little crisscross lines like netting, that underskirt part there, which puffs out the skirt of the dress. She's just so cute. I remember seeing pictures of my sister's hair like that. She's 14 years older than I am. My hair was never like that. And I see Celeste in here for 8. And Celeste, do I have your information? That is that is a piece of spam mail. That is not Celeste. So make sure you send me your information because I'll need all the usual stuff. I need your real name, your eBay, your pet, your blah, 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 your real name, your YouTube name, your shipping address, and the email you would use for PayPal because I invoice through PayPal. But I mean, through PayPal, you can pay with a credit card and you can pay as guest if you don't have a PayPal. She's an absolute star. And so I just see Celeste. in for 8, which is gonna be the middle of the night. She's absolutely lovely, and I'm gonna start the countdown. So we've got going once, and we're gonna count it down going twice. Is anybody gonna put anything else in there? She's adorable. She's absolutely adorable, and if you're wondering why I am actually giving up a Halloween thing, she's that too cutesy cute. I like Precious Moments cute. I'm not that kinda no. Things I think are really cute, but there's that cutesy cute factor where it's just a level too much. That face is just a level too much sugar sweet and everything nice, kinda cutesy cute, so I am passing her along. She is really darling, though. I'm just amazed at the details. She is really, really cool. So now I'm gonna call it since nobody's in, and I'm not gonna look, and I'm gonna hit sold, and when it shows up because I don't know how much of a delay we've got tonight. There we go. So she is sold for $8. That is definitely the deal of the night. To Celeste with an S. I come from a family with unusual names. My grandmother was Ellen Claire Yost, but Claire was Clare, no I in it. My mother's name was Alda, Alda. She finally switched and went to her maiden name and to her middle name, and when MASH came on and Ellen Alda was popular because everybody started mispronouncing her name. And then my sister's name is Phyllis. She went for decades before she ever found another person named Phyllis. And I don't come across Nancy too often either. The best cool name in our family tree, though, has got to be the one from around the time of the Civil War. There was somebody named Sterling Prescott Long. That's Sterling Prescott. That is a mouthful of a name for a little boy, isn't it? We've had some fun spellings of names. So, okay. All right. Yeah, has anybody else noticed that, like, there's been a lag on a lot of things lately? I've had YouTube do it a couple of times where all of a sudden, like, the sound went out, and I've had emails that have just taken forever to get there. It's like everything kinda now, if it's spelled with a Celeste, it's spelled with an S. Isn't that, isn't that the Spanish way of spelling it? And the C is more the Anglo-Saxon? 'Cause um, I know, because I had a friend growing up who learned both Castilian Spanish, which is from Spain, and then he learned, um he said Spanish is very different because he learned this typical Spanish they teach in high school, which is closer to the Spanish from Mexico, but then he went and spent time in, he became a priest, and he spent time in Costa Rica and in Mexico and in Cuba, actually got to do a thing there, which surprised me, and they're all slightly different, but he used to call me Nancita just to be funny. 'Cause he knew if he ever got mad at me, he was my best friend growing up, and when he would get mad at me, he'd shout at me in Spanish because he knew I didn't understand a word of it. He'd get whatever he wanted to say out of his system. Oh, that's sky blue. Well, yeah, celestial, because Spanish is one of the Romance languages, and it's all based in Latin, like Spanish, Portuguese, French, English, and Italian. They're the 5 Romance languages. So Celeste would be for sky blue. That's a lovely name. Put an H at the end. Nora, dear, you are the second Nora I've ever known, and neither one of you has an H. I never would have thought to put that in there. So, Celeste, I was checking for your email. It hasn't come through. No, it's not in the spam folder either. Did I spell it right? NBK 1965 at verizon.net. Yeah, I have it right on the screen. So you make sure you send me all that information. So let's see, what do we have left? We got a couple of things because I had like just over 20 things tonight. I have this little thing. Now, this can be used. This is made in Japan. Now, I know what its original intent. This is an Ichibana or Ikebana, which is the flower arranging. This is an Ikebana pot, and it's glaring it out again. So there is this wonderful hand painted little flower. Now, looking at those leaves, I think these are meant to be lotus flowers in the water lotus, because it's got those nice wide leaves and it's got this gorgeous cobalt blue drip glaze on the top. Now it's more controlled on the bottom, but it's the same thing. It's this gorgeous cobalt blue glazing out there. It's very pretty. And it does say made in Japan on there, but this would have been just big enough to sit the flower frog with the spikes down inside, put one of the round ones in, and then arrange your plants. And one of the things they would do, huh, is now you're doing .net, not .com, right? Uh, but another thing that they would do sometimes with some flowers is because, like tulips and daffodils, the stem is hollow, and they would very carefully put a little wire down through it to help hold it up. So you could use it for that if you want to do put a flower frog in and do little floral displays, or you can use it as something to catch things in, or put an air plant in. It would be a nice little pot for a little air plant, or even a little cactus, a little tiny cactus that you're growing. This would be a good pot for that. It is really pretty. I was drawn to it by the really dark cobalt because that's just beautiful. And the flower petals and the flowers, they're all hand painted. And then I don't think you can see it. The second flower has the little pestle. Anyway, it's got the little thingies, the little dealy bopper thingies, and they have little tiny dots in slip, which basically means they're little tiny dots in porcelain, for the center of the flower, which is really cool. Hmm, don't know why it didn't go through yet. Well, we'll find you. I'll find you. But this is a cute little piece, and it is somewhere on my list. There we go. Now, this is an older piece, And so this is $5. $5 number 52. $5 number 52. The other thing you can tell for this little piece is when you look at the bottom, and I don't think you're gonna be able to see it because the light but, there we go. You can see how that is see how it's got that little pontil in the middle? This was made on a wheel. This was made on a potter's wheel. So this is definitely a hand done piece, and it's just lovely little thing. So this was $5, number 52. Now, let me what do we got left? We did no, we did that. Got one, two, three, four items left. Let's do the kitties first. I did pick this one up just because I just thought the picture was absolutely beautiful. I don't usually pick up the Copenhagen porcelain dishes, the ones that are in blue, but this is a little one. But look at the image of the mother and the kitten. It's absolutely adorable. Now the Moore's Dag, I know, I don't come at me, Denmark and Sweden, because I know it means the same thing in both places. I know I'm probably mutilating the pronunciation, but I've never heard Danish or Swedish spoken, so I don't know the pronunciation. But this says Moore's Dag, 1971. Wow, that's so much as the image. For those who love cats, oops, there we go. For those who love cats, this is absolutely adorable. Now it has the holes that you run the string through and get this hanging on your wall. It's just absolutely adorable. With and you can see it's a tiny cat. You can see all the stripes. This is how many inches across are you? It's 6 inches across. There's no chips, no crazing, no cracks anywhere. It's just absolutely lovely. And it is, I don't have any numbers left. I didn't pull enough cards. Come on. Here we go. So for the Mama Cat and Kitten plate, it is $6, number 86. $6, number 86. I'm going to refresh my email page. Hmm. Where are you? Where are you, you sneaky little thing? Where are you? Hmm. Don't know why. Yeah, it still hasn't shown up. I don't know why. It's being persnickety. Hmm. And you know that's not an L. That's NBK and then a 1 for 191965. But yeah, I don't know why. Hmm. You know what we can try? Hang on a minute. What is this one? How? Oh, this one gave me a weird number. Okay, here we go. We'll wait and see if it comes through by the time we get to the very end, but if not, we can try this email. Sorry, my nose is itching right on the end. Of Tosh 52820. Um, that will eventually be the This Overstuffed House email, but not until I get us till I get it. Not there. Why not? Well, it may just be having weird issues. Try that one also, Celeste. I have T Public, TEE Public. That website has a few items that have images of mine. It has an image of the house. It has an image of um, Arwen as a baby. It has what else is on there? It has Mama, the raccoon, looking down at you, and then there's this wonderful image I took that um, honestly it makes me think about life because it was a path in the woods, and it was all shade on one side and all sunlight on the other, and it just there's a bridge right in the middle, and it just always made me think it's that's what life is like. We live in the gray area. Nothing is ever purely black and white most of the time. So everything is either a little bit in the light and a little bit in the shade. And so we walk that line in between. So you can get things like mugs and T-shirts and tote bags with those any one of those images on it at T Public, and, but that's the email I've been using for that. So you could try that one and see if it goes through. I'm out of cough drops down here. I'm losing my voice. Alright, let's finish up here. The cat plate was 86. Let's do the poodle. Now this poodle has a collar and there is a little loop. So I guess at one point it must have had been a set with the little kids. And the hat is a very pale pink. The the poodle itself is not pure white. It's grayish blue, very faint, very light, and it's just so adorable. The little the little pump on the ears and the little ribbon hat, those beautiful blue eyes. It's such an adorable little piece. It's so cute. And she's missing her little babies, but she's a sizable piece. So, not yet, Nora. Did you send that recently? Yep, there it is in the Tosh one. Don't know why that wasn't coming through on the other, but I've got it. Hey, a Texas girl. Hello. My my aunt and uncle in their 90s, Aunt Michiko and Uncle Bert, are in Spring, Texas, which is, I can't remember if that's near Houston or if that's near Austin. I've forgotten which. But I've got you now, Celeste. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the other one. So I don't know what's going on with the post office, but everything lately is taking longer. And for weeks, we keep getting relief mailmen. or women, where it's not our usual guy. And it's all because they're rotating them around for vacations because everybody has to have their vacation in before, what is it, before the end of September, he once told me, because they, oh, see, you're in the same area. Um, because all through in my area anyway, they have a vacation blackout for October, November, and December because the mail will just keep increasing. And we had somebody drop a package off here to the wrong 24th Street. We're on West, and it was a package for East, and they didn't pay attention. So my brother took it up and dropped it off today. She was so happy to get her package. We haven't had that happen in a long time. But this little darling, she stands, her highest point is just a smidge under 5 inches tall. And then she is 4 inches wide. So, like I said, she's a bit big. So, if you really like French poodles, and she would not be a miniature poodle with that pointy nose. She is what they call a French standard poodle, which is the big one. So she is absolutely adorable, though, and she is $5, and she is number 11. $5, number 11. Now, sometimes though, I have found that you may be able to find the kids, there should be 2 little pups with her. A lot of times I found the pups for these kind of dogs separate on eBay because somebody might have the pups but not the mom, or the mom, like I have the mom and not the pups. So you might be able to find her little puppies. But even if you don't, she's absolutely adorable. So she was $5, number 11. My pen keeps running away here. Now, I have 2 things left. One is this little beauty. This is hand blown. Now, it originally, the center part, you can see a faint line here and a faint line on this side. So this was blown into a mold, and then they opened it, and this was all hand applied, and this was all hand applied. Now, it took me forever to find out what this was. This is actually French. This is from France. It is from a 1970s cruet set. So it would be one would hold vinegar and the other would hold oil. They came with originally would have had a wooden stand, and they would have had corks in the top that had a wooden um, top to the cork. And they came in, and the tops to the cork and the stand, depending on which one you got, were either painted that typical 1970s orange or red. But it is French, but I only found the one. Now, if you only have, here's what this is really useful for being such a small thing. You only have 1 or 2 little house plants in the house. This little 4-inch tall beauty would be perfect for just putting a little water into them and watering the plants. Or put some dried flowers in it. It would make a cute little thing. And even just the fact in the window with the light coming through, this green would just be lovely. It's showing up on screen a little darker than it really is. Like it looks more olive green, but this is really good, pretty, like Kelly green kind of green. So now I did wash it, but there's a little cloudiness on the tip here, but I didn't have a Q-tip to try to get that part out of there. But it really is absolutely adorable. It is um It is a hand blown piece. Out of cards again. I need to make my new card. So now, being that it's hand blown glass, this is a $7 piece because I know what I paid for it. So this is a $7 piece. It is so cool that I did, and such a great color. I did pay up a little bit for this one. And it is number 40. $7, number 40. The other thing this would be good for too is if you want to just give your houseplants a little spurt of um, plant food, this would be a good thing to mix it in because you don't want to give them a huge amount, but this would be just enough to give a little bit to each one. So it has other uses. So that was number 40, and that was $7. Now, this is an offer up. I have two of these. This is from my own collection of things. I like to decorate with these. Now, these are nice autumn color. You have the leaves turning. You've got a little amber yellow flowers. You have the matching saucer. These are bone china, made in England, royal veil. Now, I like getting the little stand and being able to have that, and I'll have them in a grouping of stuff. When we used to have a buffet to do it on in the dining room. But this is from my own collection. It's in wonderful shape. I don't know the year of this. I've had this for so long, but this is definitely not. I definitely saying 2000, that's for sure. Yes, it is. It's an absolutely beautiful pattern. It's just gorgeous. So this is an offer up because I know the base price that I tend to sell cup and saucer at, but then they can always go up from there. So this is for, let me get cap lock on. If I could spell right. We're going to start this at 7, which if you've ever seen the market for cup and saucers, is half the price. But like I said, it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I found that I had more than one of these, and I don't need more than one. And I don't have any other dishes of this set. I must have just picked up a long time ago because I did used to use these before all the inheritances started happening. So this one has a very faint line. It's not a crack. It's crazing. But it's just that one faint spot. And there's nothing wrong with the cup. And honestly, I mean, even if you wanted to have your coffee out of that, wouldn't that be fabulous? If I'm going to drink actual coffee, that's all the size cup I could ever drink. Because if I drink too much straight up coffee, it starts messing with my heart. So I can't have that much solid caffeine at one time. But isn't it just? I could see me making this as a cup of hot chocolate with like a quarter teaspoon of coffee in it. It's just, but I have one I've used for my autumn decorations. It's back in the attic now. But isn't it just such a gorgeous pattern? And if you really wanted to, you could always put an African violet in there. Have a little house plant in there. But it's just such a nice size. And don't we, my thought with these kind of things is, don't we deserve to treat ourselves to something nice? Why not make that 5 minutes to sit and drink your cup of coffee out of something gorgeous? What was it? Oscar Wilde said that the things in life, if they cannot be practical, they should at least be beautiful. And that's beautiful. And there really is something special about taking the time to drink out of a really nice cup and saucer. We're so used to just grabbing a typical mug and out of the cabinet and make your tea or make your coffee. But when you have something like this, it just changes your mental attitude toward that moment where you're sitting there drinking it. There's something about having a nice bone china cup and saucer for your drink that just makes you slow down for that few moments mentally, because most of the rest of the day, our minds are going a mile a minute. We're input overload from the television or from our phones. So it's just kind of nice to have a piece of saucer and to use it. You can use it for auto decoration. So I don't see anyone wanting to start that off. So I will say we're going to pass. And that was my last piece tonight. And um, the majority for tonight, and that's okay because after all, it is the first night back. And as for those of you who've never been here before, now you get a view that a lot of times my sales are a little bit of everything because that's what I got here, a little bit of everything. Um, as things get more organized and we actually get to where I have an office, there will be shelves for me to actually unpack boxes and sort things out because I do like doing themed sales. I just haven't been able to do one in forever. So, because it's like that sliding puzzle that you get that's a little square, and you only have one empty space, and you have to move things around all here to there to there to there to move this one down to here. This house is like that right now. We had wiggle room until January when I had to move everything back in from a friend's warehouse because he was moving. Billy Flipper has a fantastic channel. He's down in Florida now. It's still a fantastic channel. He's doing the same thing down there that he did up here, and he's a lot of fun to watch. But he does different stuff than I do. For my channel, I try to bring the vintage things. My eBay, you never know what I'm going to have on there. Um, right now, I've found I've got a couple of things to get up on there, and I've got more things. Got to refill my Etsy store because they've just both kind of languished for a while things were getting settled here, and I was taking care of myself and Gary, my disabled brother, and but as we move forward, you're going to see a lot more stuff come through here. We're going to get back to doing sales every other week. I don't want to get overloaded again because I'm still backlogged. Um, but you're also going to see a lot more pop up in my eBay and Etsy stores. So look for that. And I hope you enjoyed this. I'm not going to do a speed round because there's so much that's from the entire thing that is still up for grabs. As with all of my sales, you have 1 week. That's why I put the date in the title. You have 1 week to claim anything that did not sell tonight. If you're seeing this on the playback, you can certainly shoot me an email about any of the items that had not sold during the live. And I can only guarantee that they will still be around for 1 week because the objective is to also empty the house. It's not just to make the money, it's to empty the house. So some things, I had a rule of thumb when I used to do flea markets, two and done. It gets two flea markets and then it's out. And I'm pretty much that same way here with this stuff. Is that a lot of stuff that I give it 2 shots at some point, sometimes only 1, but it usually gets 2 chances and then it's gone. But I can only guarantee everything for 1 week after the sale because then I've got to have it out of the way in order to get going for the next get set up the box lid, fill it up with stuff for the next sale. So I hope you all had fun. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, please like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comments afterwards. That helps the channel out when, especially when a live is done, to go ahead and leave comments. But I do hope you enjoyed this. I had fun. It's so nice to be back. Um, I do like having the sales. You guys keep me between having the live chats and having sales and having Boy Scouts. You guys are all what keep me sane. You really do, because this is claustrophobic. This is very claustrophobic sitting here, and the whole house is like that. I mean, it's not so bad that you can't get to exits and all that's fine, but it's just that every room has boxes. And it's not like it's all just tossed. It's all in boxes. And I didn't pack some of these boxes. So it's a treasure hunt. We'll see. Half of the stuff that's here. Um I don't know when I bought these. That was probably a decade ago. But of the stuff I brought tonight, the Beleek, I'm have a box full of Beleek from a friend to sell. But of the stuff here, there's only the little pigs, the French glass, the cat plate, and the ikebani, the Japanese thing, and the devil girl. That's the only stuff I picked up. The rest is all from here. So you never know what I'm going to find. So thank you all for coming. And I hope to see you again. Next week on Thursday night will be a live chat. And um, then the following, I'm going to alternate weeks for now for sales. And so the following week would be a sale. But next Thursday will be a live chat. And keep an eye out for more drop sales coming, which are pre recorded sales, because there's probably going to be a lot more books coming that will need to be done as I get through some of the boxes of books in that playroom. So, everybody, have a good night and have a great weekend. Hope the weather's good for all of you. And I hope to have managed to get a shopping video up. But I hope to have another video or maybe a work with me going through some boxes on Sunday. We'll see. Michael's being shady about Sunday. I think he's planning on kidnapping me and taking me somewhere. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I do know he got tickets for an orchestra, but I don't know for when or for what. So, so I'm gonna go. Throat's getting cranky anyway. So, and at the chat, I can tell you all about walking around the RV show that's going on this week at Hershey, Pennsylvania, for the recreational vehicles. It is the biggest RV show in the country. I walked 3.2 miles of that show, and I didn't see everything by any means. And I was wiped out. But I did find what we were looking for. So we'll be talking about that. I'll tell you about that. And actually, I think I have a picture of the one that I can show you that looks like that might be the one that within the next 3 years we hope to be able to get so that I can go on camping trips on the weekends again, since I can't crawl into a tent. So have a good night. Have a great weekend. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you Thank you so much to the ladies who have become members of the channel, because there are membership levels and they get little perks. And I will see you all next week. Good night. Oh, I haven't done this on the laptop in so long. How do I turn you off? There we go. End stream. Bye, everybody.